Let's face it, AI is taking jobs and many corporate positions are being cut. And I only see these things getting worse for the job market as AI keeps advancing, where companies will be able to trim so much of their workforce due to AI efficiencies improving. So it's got me thinking when, not if, AI is going to take my job, what are my next steps going to be? Some background about me: I'm in my mid to late 20s. I make $140,000 a year as a product manager. I work fully remote, which it does give me the flexibility to work in other countries outside of the US, thankfully, if I wanted to go international. And I graduated college in 2019, right before COVID. I didn't come from money. Growing up, seeing my parents go into debt, like credit card debt, taking on new cars, like auto loans, seeing them struggle made me even want to work harder where I didn't want to put myself in that position. If one of my parents lost their jobs, or if one of them just missed the paycheck, thankfully their jobs were pretty stable back then, it would be catastrophic, which made me want to work harder and live frugally, live below my means so I can afford my lifestyle. As a product manager and a tech worker in general, you can imagine how much stress and anxiety and worry a lot of tech workers have right now with how volatile the job market is. This job market is absolutely trash, and a lot of companies are slashing jobs left and right. And AI is one of the root causes, right? A lot of companies are saying AI is making their workforce more efficient. They don't need entry level positions anymore, and they don't need as many positions as they had in the past when they hired, let's say during COVID, for example, when the job market was booming and companies were just hiring like crazy. So it's got me thinking, when AI takes my job, what do I want to do next? How am I going to make income if I lose my position? Just because my main W 2 right now is my main source of income. One of the secondary ways that I make money is by freelancing. And if you have done freelancing in the past or know any freelancers, clients are not necessarily guaranteed. A lot of the work can ebb and flow, and you won't have consistent income. But I do freelancing on the side outside of my regular job. I have clients that I've built relationships with, and I would keep freelancing. I would do a lot more product strategy, product market fit, go to market strategy in terms of delivering software products as clients needed help with that. And then I also do software engineering on the side as well, some freelance coding projects for people just trying to either build out, complex features or just trying to build out MVP products where they want to be able to launch something. And an MVP is a minimum viable product, which essentially is just the basic feature set for you that you as a company or a software product needs to build in order to launch this and get it in front of users to make it a usable product and provide value. And to be honest, I would keep applying to positions, but I would focus mainly on contract positions where I could do it as a business entity. So a lot of contract positions you might get hired on as a W-2 employee, and then the contracting company is paying you that way. But I would rather get paid as a business entity and treat it as more of a consultant gig. And let's face it, I know a lot of people say contracting gigs don't really have job security. Contractors are usually the first to go when a company needs to downsize. But with all these layoffs, you could just say we're all contractors at this point. There is no job security. So contracting is something that I would look into. And a third option that I would look at is building my own software. Now, I don't want to really be a founder or anything like that, but just being able to build apps on the side that make maybe $20,000, $30,000 a month and scale it that way, put in the grind to get it to that position where I can get that kind of monthly recurring revenue, that's something that I would be interested in. And I know it's a lot easier to build with AI these days. A lot of founders are building apps completely all by themselves, being able to launch it all on their own and gain user feedback and just keep improving their product, right, without building a team. But as of right now, I would say I have a pretty cushy job. I don't really have the need or the fire, I guess, under my butt right now to go on and build something on my own, which I know sounds pretty bad to say, but it's true. I have a very cushy job right now, but if I did get into that position where, now I need to start evaluating if I can just build something on my own, launch it, manage it from a product perspective and an engineering perspective, that's something that I would also want to look into and evaluate. Another component to this is living, where you want to live and how much it actually costs to live. And just like many people in the United States, I don't think the affordability is here. A lot of people are getting priced out and they're looking to leave just because of the affordability. If I were to really try to retire in the United States, I would need to work for the next 40 to 50 years in this rat race just to make sure that I have enough money for retirement, any medical expenses that come up, any market downturns that happen. And as inflation goes up, make sure I have money for the housing increases, food increases, and just everyday expenses. So some of the other countries that I've been looking at, I've been to a few of these, and the ones that I haven't been to, I've just researched. I would actually want to go visit there first to make sure that it is somewhere that I would want to live. But Asia would be my top choices. I've been looking at Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. I've only been to the Philippines and I loved it. You could live like a king there if you're making US dollars. South America, I've been looking at Medellin, Colombia. That's somewhere I've been to already for a work trip. I enjoy the city. I would just want to go there more for fun, just to really experience it. And then some European countries that I've been to, Italy and Spain. I've been here on both like vacations. I've definitely enjoyed these cities a lot. And just the European lifestyle of very relaxed. It's very opposite of the United States where everybody's just like grind, grind, grind. In Europe, it's very laid back, just take it easy. People are enjoying life, and that's essentially what I want to do. And whichever country that I pick, I would want to just have the flexibility to be able to travel whenever I want, where I want to. So I don't really feel locked down to a specific geographical location. I can just get up and go whenever as I please. But moving to any of these countries, I know I'm going to have to keep my expenses low, probably work on some side projects here and there just to bring in some income. I wouldn't need crazy amounts of income, just something that I can dedicate maybe 10, 15 hours of my week to, which would be a whole lot better than dedicating 40 to 50 hours that I'm doing right now at my job, and then being able to live off the investments that I've made and the dividends that I'm getting from those investments, being able to invest heavily at the start of my career when I was started making money, and having the compound growth from the stock market has definitely helped me out build up a nest egg where if I really wanted to move to one of these countries right now, I'd be able to just live and not have to work for the next maybe 15, 20 years, figure it out later while I'm enjoying life. And the sacrifices that I've made to essentially build up this nest egg, build up this cushion, I've lived very frugally. I didn't buy a new car when I graduated college. I didn't have new clothes. I had a very scarcity mindset. I wanted to save as much money as I possibly could, invest that money into assets where I could keep growing it, make more money, get dividends. I eventually bought a house with a huge down payment where I could either sell it now and make a profit or rent it and still profit from the rent even with the interest rate on this mortgage. And that's just going off of the comps in my area of people who've either rented it in the last year, what rents are going for, or what they sold their house for. So this is me just thinking about what comes next after AI replaces my job. I want the freedom to live off of my investments and be able to travel to other countries as I please. Still have a presence in the US to come back here, visit family or friends as I need to, but not be tied down to a specific region. I want the freedom to not have to work 40 to 50 hours each week at a job or in a job market that brings so much stress and anxiety with how much power these companies have over employees. Really, the main goal in life is just to be happy, and that's what I want to shoot for.